Good morning. Well, now we have a whole new conundrum with our stay home and stay safe. So I hope you will stay home and will stay safe. And as you're home, I have a couple updates for you. So the first thing is that those of you who have not finished the Khan Academy, oh, the dogs in the background, see them? Boys! Bobo! Buddy! Hi! Just letting them know they're being watched so they don't start fighting with each other. Those of you who need to work on Khan Academy, please continue to do so. If you haven't completed your assignments, then you need to still be logging at least or approximately 25 minutes per school day. That should be an appropriate amount of time for you to accomplish and complete all of the assignments. If you didn't work as much the first week, or if you haven't worked at all, then you will definitely have to do catch up because you need to get that done. And all of those will be scored for grades. So you have time to get it done over the next 3 weeks, but still make sure they get done. As I told you, it gives me an analytic of all the time that you've spent and of the assignments that you've accomplished. By the way, a number of you have taken me up on it. You've either called or texted or emailed me to ask me for questions, and I just work it out on paper and shoot you an email or a text with how to do it and then call you back and we chat through it. So don't hesitate to do that. I'm here to help you if you need that help. But some of you have already finished Khan Academy. And so for that reason, let me show you a couple of things that you could do for extra credit. And it's completely optional, but some of you, your parents want you to be busy because they don't want you going crazy or making them go crazy. And some of you just want to bring your grade up. So for that reason, if you want to do an extra credit assignment, since you have the time, let me open this up and come over here. A couple websites I want to show you. LibriVox, these are all free audiobooks, and you of course can do this right on your phone. They have an app, so there's the spelling of it right up here. LibriVox. You can go there and download audiobooks, or you could just listen to them for free right here. Or you can use Gutenberg, and it's Gutenberg.org. If you type in a different one, you get some really weird websites. I don't remember what they were, but I remember that happened earlier this year in the junior-senior class. So Gutenberg.org, there you can find it. They also, I believe, have an app, but both of these places are places where you can find classical books for free on the internet. So you don't have to go to the library to get any of them. And the reason I'm pointing this out to you is because what I want you to realize is that each of you have right in your English book that you took home with you a section on the book report. And most of you have already used this. But ready, listen closely. If you're in 7th and 8th grade, starting on page 294, which is section 5, you have a whole section on how to write a book report. So if you will read a book, and I'll talk about which books in just a minute, if you will read a book and follow the examples and explanation exactly in your grammar book starting on page 294, then you can do that book report for an extra credit assignment. 9th and 10th grade, your book report section is Unit 7, and it's found starting on page 56. And again, there's a completed example and all the instructions that you need. So I'll talk about which books in just a second, but again, you could read a book and do a book report according to your textbook. And for each one of you, I want you to do it exactly how your textbook sets it out. And then juniors and seniors, yours is section 57, which begins on page 230. So each of you have in your textbook step by step, and all of the classes have already done book reports. So you would follow the same formatting. And you can do that for extra credit assignment if you would like an extra credit assignment. So now let's talk about which type of books. The typical books that the school okays would be things that have Christian morals or Christian principles, or this is the other way that we kind of brought it a little bit. We'll say Christian consequences. So it may not necessarily be a Christian book if you're looking at a classic that's written years ago, and yet there's the outcome that shows that evil is punished and that good is blessed, or things along those lines, then it's probably going to be permissible. And that's pretty broad, the way that I just explained it. But if your parents okay the book, and if it falls in those guidelines, then you're probably okay. The way to make sure that you're going to get credit for it is just simply to send me the title and the author. And I will gladly tell you yes or no. Because if you do it and it's not one that's permissible, then you won't receive credit. Because you probably shouldn't be reading it anyway. Unless you're reading it in order to analyze what you agree with and don't agree with. And you should be doing that in every book you read. There are so many times that I've started a book and partway through it, I just stop reading it because it doesn't align with the scriptural principles. And so I'm not going to read that trash. It's just garbage for your head. And I don't need garbage in my head. It's like not going to be helpful. All right. So my time's escaping me. So I want to move a little more quickly. So ready? Here are the things that are absolutely for sure excellent choices for your book report. A Christian biography, a autobiography or a biography of like an American hero or even just a historic hero. So if you have if you like to have a Civil War autobiography or a Civil War biography of a general or something like that. You can also read informational books. Like I'm in the process of building a chicken coop. And so maybe you have a book and it's an informational on how to raise chickens or something like that. I have one, you can borrow it, but I can't get it to you because we're all staying home. So, sorry. That kind of thing. So if you want to read something along those lines. And then also, I am going to open it up and say you can read a Christian fiction. And the reason I'm doing that is because you're at home for weeks and it would be nice to get some credit, even just for some easy reading. So if you are not sure whether or not a book is okay, please just text me the title and the author and I will check it out. And then the last thing I want to show you before I let you go is this right here. I cannot give you credit for our courses for this because it doesn't align with any of the objectives for my courses, but I'm just throwing this out there for you. This is Foundations in Personal Finance, high school edition for self-study. You know that I like Dave Ramsey. I talk about his principles in just about all my classes on occasion when I can fit them in with what we're talking about. But it says, looking for the right tool to keep your kids on track while out of school. We've cut down our price on personal finance curriculum so that the family can stay on track during the season. Self-study has helped over 5 million students develop good habits in personal finance. It's on sale for $19.99. That's $100 off. That is amazing. So I'm just throwing that out there to you. It's at daveramsey.com/store/hope. And again, I can't give you credit for it, but you shouldn't need that to be your motivation for why you would do this or why you would ask your parents if they will allow you to do it. If they're like, you're driving me crazy. Oh, hey, maybe you could help me out with this, Mom and Dad. Maybe you could give me something to do. And so this will actually give you the high school edition. It's intended, I think, like for homeschoolers originally, but that's kind of where you find yourself right now. Here is another thing that I wanted to point out to you. This is Scott Pauley's broadcast, and he has here awesome podcasts, like daily podcasts. I listen to his daily podcast, and I've mentioned him in my classes multiple times. But specifically, if you are finding yourself at home with more time, which all of us are, then this is a great thing for you to do to feed your spirit. Because the truth is, we're always either feeding our spirit or our flesh. And whichever one you feed is the one that's going to be strongest in your life. And then, speaking of feeding, I don't know I hope you remember, but 2 years ago, I believe it was, I did that huge Easter celebration meal with you all. And I was just thinking that might be something really fun for you to put together for your family. I mean, guy or girl, you could do this. You know, some of the best chefs in the world are men, right, guys? So come on, you can do this. So anyway, if you wanted the paper, because I don't know if you remember, but remember I said a lovely table and had certain foods prepared, and then we all had these papers that I printed off, and it gave you the things that you were going to say. It would just be a neat tradition for you to do together, and someday you could look back and be like, wow, I remember in 2020, and yeah, we did this together. And I don't know, I was just trying to think of things that might be enjoyable for you and beneficial to you. So I hope it's helpful. I'm praying for you all. I hope you all are doing very well. I would love to hear from you. Shoot me an email. Tell me what you're up to. How are you spending your time? What do you want me to pray about? And know that I miss you and I'm praying for you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.